Hello again. Now, following on from my pass load nail gun video where I showed stripping it down completely and rebuilding it, also I did one where I was servicing it. I had a loyal viewer contact me regarding his nail gun, the same model. Problems with it firing. He'd done what I said, he stripped it down, put it back together again, still not happening, and repeatedly doing all these kind of things. Could not find the fault. Got to the point where you know what it's like when things just are not going right, pulling your hair out, ready to throw it into the bin. I said, oh, hold on a minute, see if I can help. Now, I don't do these things for money, and I'm not offering my services out to everybody to come and do it. But occasionally, you don't want to see somebody just throwing something away because there might be something small. From what he said, I thought there's an easy fix to this. I might be wrong. But rather than seeing him waste 400 or 500 quid throwing it in the bin, I throw myself into the services and says, send it to me, I'll have a quick look, see if there's anything obvious that's going to shoot out at me, and I can say, there you are, there's your problem, and send it back to him. It might be an odd part that he'd have to buy. It might not, we will see. But anyway, he took me up on the offer and he sent it to me. It was symptomatic of, after it was fully done, it fired once and would not fire again. And I'm thinking, I think I know what that problem is. I've heard that, or I've experienced it, whichever. Give it a go and see. Anyway, here it is. He sent it to me and I finally got time to have a look and see what's causing it. Now the first thing you need to do when you're doing these things, because they can be so temperamental in some things, battery. Make sure you've got a good one. Get one, get it tested, and then put it on the machine, and you know the battery, it's eliminated, it's working. Same with the gas bottle. Get a gas bottle, tested, make sure that it's, well, not just that it's got to come in, but it's coming out. Because sometimes they play up and all. So what I did, get my nail gun, load up a gas bottle that I presume is okay. It's got nails in it. Put in the battery and make sure we've got a good signal. Then test it. I always like to prime them first. Just gets everything going. Some people might say I shouldn't do that. I do. And no problem. Okay. We know that nail gun is working fine. I know that nail gun's working fine. It's mine, I serviced it and got it working. But the main point is we know that battery is working fine. And I know that is working fine. Put mine to one side. No, I'll also take the nails. Let's have everything on a level playing field here. And then take his. Here it is. Oh, we've got a distinctive mark there, so that can prove that nothing's been swapped, should I get it working. Put that to one side. Now, he's got nails already, but we'll put them to one side as well. There is no battery, there is no gas. So, we shall put all them in and then give it a test. Okay, so, load up the gas. Load up the nails. And the battery. Finally. Sounding good so far. Already I'm noticing a bolt on the head is a little bit suspect, and we've got a missing bolt on the gas opener. Oh. Sounds like no spark, no power, no nothing there. Okay. You don't need to carry on with that. Right, the one on the head, that could be a compression issue. That might be, so we'll look at that. But it was priming up okay. So it's possible a switch, but it to me could be compression. Okay, let's get it stripped down and see what we've got. I'm only going to take this body off first, check that side, then I'll come back and check that side. before I go any further, I'm putting it back together again. Now I'll tighten that up, because that is a compression issue. And that could be the cause of it all. Let's try it all again. No. No, that wasn't the problem. Never mind. Wishful thinking. Okay. That. So that there is probably our main concern. Okay, doesn't seem to be anything wrong with that. Not that I can see. Okay, that's all ready to go back together again. Put that to one side. Okay. It would seem this must be the problem. Okay, let's open it up and see where we go. A lot of oil in that. That is going to stop it firing at the start. So, first thing to note here, in the spark igniter, it's soaked in oil. And then somebody sprayed oil in there deliberately to stop the thing working. Or it's gone in there somehow. But it's under the rubber cap, so how it can get in there is beyond me, unless we've got a leak in the body, a crack in the head or something. Now, like with any aluminium heads, you can get airline cracks and not see them. Never find them. But you just don't get compression, you don't get seal. So the thing never works again. And if that's the case and that's where this oil's coming from, and the thing's never going to work again. But I won't stop yet. Right, we've got a rubber buffer missing on this side. I'll branch in just to see what it looks like and see if it's affecting us any. It seems not good in there. No, it doesn't seem to be affecting us, but there should be one there on that side, a little rubber buffer. This one actually is in, but it's not even in place, and they're supposed to stop the terminals pushing open too far and force them to make tight contact with the battery. As I say, the batteries can be very temperamental, so a slight little thing like that can cause it. So we need to find a little bit of rubber or something to go into there, just to stop that moving around too much. What else do I see? This is the other switch, which can be of a concern. But that is all dead straight. The wheel seems fine. So I'm not concerned with that one. That washer is bent. I'm not giving this a thorough cleaning like I did mine. This is just a test and see if I can get the thing working for the chap. If he wants a good clean, then he can see the video and copy what I did. That's better. That was a bit loose, that one. Okay, a little bit tighter. Okay, so that's a possible helper, but I'm still thinking that, and definitely that. The jet's all clean there. Let's see that. So you can get oil in here. Obviously it comes out the gas straight into here. But you shouldn't be able to get into the top of that electrode. Which is telling me that we may have a crack in this. If there's a fine crack in this, which I can see some dark lines there, I just can't make out whether they are or not. Yeah, it's still there. It's too difficult to actually see that on camera, but there is what looks like just there an airline. It's possible that's an airline crack, and that's why that has got into there. Yeah, 90%, 95% definitely looks like a crack. Okay, right, well I'll clean that out. I'll get a bit of rubber going there or something. Put it back together, see if it works. If I get the same result, then I'm going to have to assume that that is what I thought it was, a crack. Which, you know, to get that, you're looking in your chamber. You're looking in the price of the gun, really. Okay, a bit of bubble. Okay, I've done all I can. Now let's see if it's cracked or not, because there's nothing else wrong with it. Everything else is looking very sweet apart from that cracked head, which means pretty much terminal if it is cracked, but we'll now find out. Give it a chance to charge up fully first. We're in no panic. No. No, I'm afraid, as I suspected, that edge cracked, and that's what's caused the problem. Okay, I'll return it to the viewer, and unfortunately it needs a new one. I mean, you can get this section inside, but as you can imagine, it's the best part of the price of the machine, so it's hardly worth it. But that's his choice. Right, well, unfortunately it wasn't a successful video, but it taught us a lesson, and that is we can't fix everything and know where to stop. Alright, well, thanks for watching us again, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.